Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division Normandy 44 video today by me, Vulcan. In this video I have for you a 4 versus 4 on Mont Ormel, and I'm going to be using the 7th Armoured Division. I've been having a lot of fun playing Steel Division Normandy 44 again, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying seeing it back on the channel. The previous video that I put up actually did really well, so I decided to bring you guys some more, and I have been playing it more on my stream. If you want to catch those games live, make sure to go to twitch.tv/VulcanHDGaming, follow me there, and I'm generally live at 8 PM Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Saturday, and also Sunday. So yeah, go check it out. But yeah, today we're going to be playing with the 7th Armoured. This was suggested by one of my mods, I believe Lycus at the time, who said that I should play the 7th Armoured. Now the 7th Armoured is a really cool division because it's one of the most powerful in Steel Division Normandy 44, so I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to do it justice at the time, but the thing that makes it really strong is the fact that it has these Stuarts and a lot of 50 cals in general. Now this Stuart, it has a 50 cal, it also has two 30 cals, and it just makes it incredible at pinning down infantry early on in the game. Anyway, motorized rifles going to be moving up on the right hand side here in the M5 half track, and they are going to get ambushed by the Panzer Abwehr. So McShab here going to be my opponent today. He is actually in fact another of my mods. This was kind of an in-house game. It generally is when I'm streaming Normandy 44 because everybody in the stream joins in, which is really cool. Also in this case we had people from the Steel Division Normandy 44 Steam group come along and fill up the game, so Seb, Oscar and Arctic Wolf. And if you guys are interested in finding games for Steel Division Normandy 44, I'd definitely make sure to go check that out because it seems like there's a few active people there who really enjoy playing the game still. So yeah, that was great. We managed to get this 44 going, and Seb's already making some great progress here, finding a hole in the front line against our opponents. So let's have a look at some of the other units. When my Stuart just dying there. I've got some motorized rifle on the left hand side. We've got the M5 half track here. We've got another one of those Stuart 5s. We've got two of these. We've got the Bofors Portée, and then we've got the Desert Rats here. Desert Rats are pretty good at close range. They've got 4 Thompson submachine guns. Now just like Steel Division 2, machine guns cannot be fired within, I believe, 100 meter range. So the Fallschirmjägers here can't use their MG34, and the Bren's classed as a machine gun in this game, so the Desert Rats can't use the Bren. But we have overall an advantage with our 4 Thompson submachine guns, so we managed to get the better of the Fallschirmjäger there, and Fallschirmjäger aren't cheap for McShab to be losing. And 2 of my Desert Rats are almost the same price as one of his Fallschirmjäger, so managing to make short work of that one at close range. At longer ranges, the Fallschirmjäger is super good though, so gotta be careful when I engage. And my M5 half track here is still alive, but all it's really doing is providing recon, because it did take an internal fragments critical. And an internal fragments critical in Steel Division Normandy 44 removes all of the ammunition of a unit. It's actually quite devastating. So that's not really going to be that useful. We're going to be moving up these Desert Rats into the building, and we're going to try and house hop our way towards the Panzer Abwehr to take those out. Meanwhile, just trying to chill out here for a little bit and kind of go for the flank around the outside in order to get my 50 cals and the 30 cal of this half track in line of sight to engage the Fallschirmjäger without moving close enough to be hit by a Panzerfaust or a Panzer Schreck. And there was a unit up here that was engaging me. This is an L6. So what I decided to do was basically every time this was about to fire, I would jump the Desert Rats out of the building, and then I'd jump back in so that we could engage the Fallschirmjäger and do damage there. And it was working out pretty well. So just chipping them. So they lost another man. The L6 tried to aim, managed to jump out again. I've also managed to get this Stuart up on the hill. These are pretty cool because they've got a 30 cal and a 50 cal there. So able to provide nice fire support onto the Fallschirmjäger. Also with the motorized rifle leader that is making these 3-star veterancy, which helps out a lot. On the left, in the meantime, the Stuart has flanked around. These are also recon Stuarts. They're really good at spotting units at a distance, and that allows me to find that Fallschirmjäger and do a lot of damage to it. In the meantime, the L6 does come up, kill the half-track, also kills the Stuart that I had there, and the Desert Rats. I managed to get one Gammon Bomb thrown towards it, but wasn't quite doing the trick. Stuart 5 in the meantime going to go down to the Panzerschreck there. So on this right flank, McShab's really starting to get the better of me. But here on the left, since Seb's kind of taking control of the left side here, like my left flank, it does give me the option to push up here quite aggressively towards the MD-34. The Yag's going to make short work of the 2 Cromwells that Seb had while he was pushing. So good job by Yag. Yeah, Desert Rats trying to move up the tree line now to engage these Fallschirmjäger at close range. But Fallschirmjäger are going to take them out eventually. Now it's just a matter of getting my M5 half-track and the Stuart 5 round the back. Meanwhile, my Bofors Corte going to be engaging this Ju-87, preventing that from doing any damage to my armor. The Fallschirmjägers, since they were able to engage me from a distance here, did pin down my Desert Rats really quickly, and that's something you've really got to be worried about. But as soon as my 2 30 cals and the 50 cal gun on target from the Stuart 5, you can just see how quickly you chunk units, particularly with that veterancy. The unit that killed my Stuart also came in and killed my AA, so that was unfortunate. But in the meantime, 3-inch mortar I brought up on the right hand side to help clear out some of the enemy infantry that was there. But with both the Stuart 5 and the M5 half-track, I managed to pin down this infantry, so that was great. And my Stuart 5 on the edge here is able to get shots onto this Fallschirmjäger, and every time McShab loses one of these Fallschirmjäger, it is another 45 points lost. But LG40 saving him from losing one more. And of course this is still Division, not Warno, so he can't replenish his troops. Seb going deep with these Humbers. Panzergren though, scary at range, with the Ju-87 as well from J-Dog coming in. Going to be making short work of those units. And Seb's going to do a run-up with his M5 half-tracks. Meanwhile, off-map going to be coming down on the right-hand side. Managing to kill off my infantry squad in there. My motorized rifles just going to be keeping their head down best they can. These motorized rifles finding the Fallschirmjäger out in the open. They've only got one Bren to fire, whereas the Fallschirmjäger has 2 MG34s. My Stuart 5's going to come round and hopefully come and finish that off, because Bren's really not that great at inflicting damage at a distance, as you can see. Enemy AT gun opens up. Not great for us. So Stuart 5's going to do a run-up. Meanwhile, my motorized rifle, I'm going to smoke it off. I'll let it to do a runner while my motorized rifles come up to help save the day. One of Seb's half-tracks is going to go down there. LG starting to do some damage, that's for sure. And also now firing at the motorized rifles. And these things have really good rate of fire. 12 rounds per minute. Down on the right hand side in the meantime, Stuart 5 getting a nice shot early on into the L6. One thing that I really like about Steel Division Normandy 44 is it kind of forces you to have these like light armor engagements early on. There obviously are some exceptions, like we saw the Cromwells out of Seb, but they're always limited in availability. But the one thing that's fantastic about the 7th and what makes them so strong is you do get these Stuarts and they have enough AP to kill most things that you're going to be coming up against early on. The Ju-87 going to be coming in there to attack Seb. But yeah, just check out this map. This is one of my favourite maps actually from Steel Division Normandy 44. It just looks so nice. It's kind of hard to play over because the line of sight was always difficult to distinguish on this map due to the elevation, and the line of sight tool in Steel Division Normandy 44 never used to account for elevation. So it always kind of made things difficult. But anyway, meantime, on the right hand side, Another Fallschirmjäger did go down. We've got a Fallschirmjäger in the open that's still kind of causing me problems. I'm taking more off map on the left hand side. Meanwhile, McShab's trying to push in the Pupchen here, but I have my Recce squad, my 2-man Recce squad. They got the Stens and they're going to be running them down. Pupchen trying to get out of there. Gets pushed into my motorized rifle line of sight. And those will be more than happy to finish it off. So that's going to stop the Pupchen from dealing with my armor here. So we have just moved into phase B. I've got a Cromwell 5 on the way to help support as well. Fallschirmjägers revealing themselves is really not good news for them, because that's a lot of like a lot of fire on target, and another Fallschirmjäger gone. My motorized rifle going to be finding themselves the off-map vehicle, which does manage to get down its last strike, and it does end up killing off that motorized rifle leader. So he did manage to get all 3 off-map strikes out of that off-map vehicle. So he won't be too concerned that he lost it. But I guess it does remove the vehicle for the time being if it's going to hold the front line or anything. Fallschirmpanzerabwehr rarely missing like 2-3 shots in a row, I think that was. It was kind of ridiculous. A mortifier is going to be coming in to help pin that down immediately. My motorized rifles are moving close to engage it. And it turns out that I managed to pin them down just in time, because obviously my motorized rifle's there almost fully pinned. But I assumed that with the mortar doing the job, that would be able to pin it down. Stuart 5 does find a transport snipe further up, and I have made quite a lot of ground now to the far side of this hill, and now it kind of becomes difficult for McShab to move forwards. He's going to have to use these tree lines, use his like close range AT to get the job done. The L6 here actually, or the LG, sorry, ended up bouncing off the SP autocar, so another lucky escape from me. Also able to finish off that Fallschirmjäger in the process. Motorized rifles falling back though, and I'm starting to bring up some more reinforcements as I continue to push forwards. And you can start to see why this division is really, really strong. I've got 3 of these Stuart 5s. We've got the Autocar M3 that's coming up to provide like HE fire support. I've got the Cromwell for like mid-range armor, and just very, very cost efficiently wiping out lots of infantry. Now these Stuart 5s got nerfed like multiple times, but they're up to 110 points. Technically though, I only need to kill like 3 infantry squads with one of them, and that's the job done. And another thing that's quite interesting about Steel Division Normandy 44 engagements is how often tanks miss at closer ranges. So the maximum range of a vehicle in Steel Division Normandy 44 is like 1,200 meters. And this Stug, they have 1,000 meter range, same as the Cromwell. But in that case, they were like less than 800 meters, and they just miss each other on the first shot most of the time, because this is technically like 50% accuracy, I think, when it's like 5 accuracy, and then the Stug gets 6, so there's a chance there it's going to hit. Anyway, what I decided to do was get all of my armor into position. You can see I'm bringing up my second Stuart 5 on the right. I've got the Stuart 5 on the left ready to go with the autocar. I've got the Cromwell ready to go. I'm just going to bring them all out at once to engage the Stug like a big ambush. So I bounce off the side armor there, get a nice shot close range from the Stuart, and that's going to shoot a wound, which is perfect. We get the crew knockout as well, weapon jam, and that Stug is not in a good spot. So really nice ambush. The Fallschirm Pioneers are in trouble due to the Desert Rats. All of the 50 cal just pinning down the infantry immediately. McShab's having a real hard time. Wasp now moving up to help support. The Wasp does have 260 meter range compared to the 150 meter range of the Fast Patron in this case, so able to pin that out of range with the ability to shoot back. We burn them very, very fast indeed, so that's nice, and that's just broken open the right hand side really quickly. And Seb here with his Firefly makes short work of the Stug on the left side, and the Volksdeutsche of Jagdsaws currently just about holding back Seb's infantry, but Can't imagine for long, as the Crusader AA is moving up to provide that 20mm fire support. So we have got to the +2 with the 60% territory. Seb got off to a fantastic start, but it did kind of get equalised a little bit here up against Yagged and J-Dog. But I'm going to be trying to capitalise on my position. J87 coming in from Yagged, looking for the kill onto my Stuart 5. Does manage to pin it down, but I drive towards the J87 on purpose so it gets less time on target, and it allows my Crusader AA to force the J87 off afterward. More reinforcements on the way, including another Beaufort Porte. Habit of Chantry now arriving as well. This is a sort of hero unit, I guess. Well, I don't think it's technically like an ace unit, but it's a unique unit to the 7th, as it does have its own history of being, I think, a training vehicle that was ended up used on the front line. It was particularly fast for a Cromwell. Using the Desert Rats and the Wasp, going to be pushing up here. Got the Stuart 5 at close range as well. 50 cal is going to be able to help pin down the MG42 on the slope, and the Flamers able to take out the Pack 38. J87 loses line of sight as I'm pushing up hard towards this hill. Fallschirmjäger's managing to take out one of the half tracks there, but as soon as it moves forwards, gets absolutely demolished by the 50 cows and all this veterancy. That's another thing that is fantastic about this division, is just the veterancy. Wasps just gonna go ham here. And they're all surrendered. And you can see once again the second line of resistance that J-Dog put up got quickly melted. So now just pushing towards the spawns. You can see I've already decapped this land spawn, and I'm going to be going for the next one on the right hand side, as that will seal the deal. And got more wasps on the way with my field engineers. I believe wasps are really fun to use in this game, just because they're actually useful in Steel Division 2. They are okay, but they just really don't have the same sort of flame range versus AT range that they have in this game. Panzerjägerstück coming in from J-Dog to try and help the right hand side. Abded Chantry's going to be taking a stand. Does manage to get the transmission damage onto the Stug. Going to be looking for the penetration. Finds it with that shot. Very nicely done. And the Stuart moving up with the Abded Chantry. Two of them there. And Wasp as well. And we're up to 64%. 65% is a +3. So that's what we need to do. But it is only 2,000 victory points in order to win. We're currently at 1,620 or 630 plus. Now I'm using a lot of my troops that came in to reinforce, and the units that are on my left flank to push into McShab's forces here. And his Fallschirmjäger, as soon as they get spotted, get melted. And it's just this pure combination of high veterancy, 50 caliber and multiple machine guns. And, like, yeah, recon, leadership, machine guns that makes them such a good unit. They're just fantastic for leading these close range charges against enemy infantry. So up to 67% now, and this division just really gets into a groove, and it becomes very difficult to break down, because at this point I've destroyed most of what McShab had, and I've still got all of my forces. So he's got to basically, on every tick, try and get back to the point where he was, and the only way that he can do that with the 3rd Fallschirmjäger is in phase C, but I'm not going to let him get there, because we have the division income is, or the income that you get throughout the game is based on the division in Steel Division Normandy 44. So you see I have 90 points in Phase A, 135 points per minute in Phase B, and then 110 in Phase C. And this curve is really strong for the game, basically. Also got my Spitfires coming in there for a bombing strike onto the Stug, which is going to allow me to push on that with the Cromwells afterwards as well. So another cheeky move here that's going to get me another kill. But yeah, going back to the incomes in Phase C, J-Dog gets 145, which is significantly more than me. And in the early game, he doesn't get as much. So I've managed to really like exploit that by killing his units that are expensive, and he's not able to have the income to replace them. So it's kind of ended up in this situation where he can't recover, and that's going to be game. Total victory after 20 minutes and 22 seconds, and yes, the 7th Armoured is still probably the strongest division in Steel Division Normandy 44. It's incredibly strong. 1,595 kills to 530 losses in the end. But yeah, it was fun to use this division again. Like, I'm not usually a person who likes to use like the OP, like broken divisions, because it does end up in more one-sided games. And I prefer the games to go longer. I don't really mind losing, so I just generally want to have fun. And using divisions that aren't as strong is usually a better way to do that. But you can just see how much value these 2 at 5s can get here. Fallschirmjäger, Fallschirmjäger, Fallschirmjäger. These are 45 points apiece. This is 110 points. So you can see that pays itself off with just the Fallschirmjäger kills. And then the MG34 and the Luftwaffenjäger with the half-track on top, although the half-tracks don't really cost that much. Then like motorized rifles killing off the off-map vehicle does give me quite a lot of points. The auto car came in, it actually managed to claim the kill on the Stug 3. This Stuart 5 got its own Stug kill, and the Wasp here just melting those Fallschirmjäger, and the other Chantry picking up another Stug 3. Yeah, fun little game, and another little look into Steel Division Normandy 44. I've been really enjoying playing this again, and I will bring you guys more content of Steel Division Normandy 44 once again in the future. That's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.